But recently, I decided to spend Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with Pope Francis. I got an invitation to come to St. Peter's Basilica and to celebrate midnight mass with Pope Francis. However, he has it at 7:30 in the evening before Christmas Christmas Day. And so I decided to invite my family to come with me. And on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I invited them to live with me. And I have the great opportunity and the privilege and to live with Pope Francis himself in the residence where he lives. Unlike most holy fathers, most popes, he doesn't live in the apostolic palace. He lives in a 300-room dormitory, just like any college dormitory, believe it or not. And so I invited my brothers and sisters to come and stay with me Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with Pope Francis. And he just walks around the house freely around the dorm. And, it was an amazing opportunity. And I always bring him gifts when I go there. This time I brought him a basketball signed by Coach Cal from the University of Kentucky. I brought him some OFC bourbon, which is extremely rare. And I had this planned that I was going to give these gifts to the Pope for Christmas, and then I was going to ask the Pope to take them back, and I was going to auction them off because there was a devastating tornado in Western Kentucky. And I thought I could raise a few bucks for them on that. And so that's what I did. I went, and on Christmas Eve, I presented Pope Francis with his gifts, and he loved the bourbon, and he took the basketball, and we took pictures together, and we talked about it. And then as we were walking down the hall, him holding the bourbon and the basketball, I turned to him and I said, Pope Francis, would you be upset if I asked for my gifts back? And he was like, well, I thought they were gifts for me. And I'm like, well, they are, but I would like to gift them to someone else who could possibly help me raise money for those in need in Western Kentucky. And he immediately gave them back. I put them online for an auction with pictures of him receiving the gifts, and $16,000 later was able to raise money for a bottle of bourbon and a basketball that the Pope received, and was able to help a few people out in Western Kentucky.
Well, I can imagine Pope Francis' surprise whenever you
Yes,
asked for
he
it
was.
back. It would have thrown anyone for a loop, but at the end of the day, it was for the right reasons, and that's really
That's right.
incredible story. I would have never even thought to have done something like that, and so it was a
Well,
unique way to raise that money.
yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't really think about it until I was on the 8-hour flight over, and I was like, what could I mean, I'm going to give him this, but what good can come from this besides just, for the Pope? And when I just came up with this idea, well, maybe I can take these gifts back and auction them off, or try to find some way to generate funds for the people who have been so devastated in a moment's notice by a force of nature. And, and being at Christmas time. And so that's what I did.